Device.
Ah, we love Data East here at Consoletronix. The Japanese arcade and home console developer had a string of high-profile hits back in the days of 8 and 16 bits. Sadly, like many other studios, they struggled to replicate that success on the 32-bit stage and eventually went out of business at the turn of the century. But the legacy of their library of games from early arcade hits such as Karate Champ and Burger Time to licensed titles such as Robocop has left its mark on a generation of gamers. And today I look at the 1991 arcade port of the prehistoric platform adventure Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja. Now, you have no idea how jealous I was as a kid in the early 90s looking at games like Joe and Mac and others like Super Pang being released exclusively for the SNES, because as a proud Mega Drive owner, I honestly thought Nintendo were doing it just to spite me. Either that or they were trying to kill me by having me drool to death looking at the screenshots of their games in magazines. But unlike a lot of other notable Japanese developers and publishers, Data East wouldn't be tied down to Nintendo and would also get some of their better titles to Sega's 16-bit, thus ensuring a place in my heart for a long time to come. We saw games like the criminally underrated Run and Gunner Atomic Runner and also a port of Joe and Mac, which unfortunately was never released in Europe. Another case of Nintendo out to get me, methinks. And it wasn't just the 16-bit wars we saw in the early 90s, but also, inexplicably, the Caveman became very popular across a broad range of media. We had Welsh claymation shows like Gogs, movies like California Man starring a then unknown Brendan Fraser, and reruns of 1970s cartoon Captain Caveman. But if I'm honest, I think I only watched that show for the teen angels. That blonde one always struck me as a bit slutty though, like the only reason she wears knickers is to keep her ankles warm. But back to business, and naturally it didn't take long before video games noticed the popularity of the Neanderthal theme and said, we'll have a bit of that. So we got PC Genjin aka Bonk on PC Engine and SNES, Chuck Rock on Amiga and ST before multiple console ports, and of course the subject of today's video, Joe and Mac. And while the first game would appear on additional systems like Mega Drive, Game Boy, NES and Amiga, the sequels Congo Capers and Lost in the Tropics were SNES exclusive, and like their developer, have become lost and forgotten in the fog of gaming. But this is why I focus on retro here on YouTube. It's not all about nostalgia, but to showcase gems like this that deserve some more recognition. Joe and Mac is a manic little platformer that, while hardly groundbreaking in its execution, is still a very playable, challenging 2D adventure, with lots of charm and replay value. So try it for yourselves. The game has been made available for the Switch, so you really have no excuse not to check out this classic game from a company who in their day rivaled the likes of Konami and Capcom. So my name's Gray, you've been watching Consoletronix, more videos coming your way very soon, so please like, share, subscribe and let me know your thoughts on both Joe and Mac and Data East in the comment section down below. So thank you very much for watching and goodbye.